do some sketchy shit. Do-da, do-da, hope I get away with it. Oh, do-da-day.
Hello, folks. I'm Dan Hollifield. Welcome to Last Man Standing. With me tonight, we've got Joe Bachman, we've got Paul, we've got Chris, we have Trey in the comments. Hello again.
Hello, Trey.
YouTube on the iPad will not give me a link to my own damn show. So if I type anything in the comments, here is a reply. It will show up to every destination that Joe Dog has assigned to us, including 2 of the 4 Facebook groups that are not responding because I don't know, maybe they need a CPAP or a I don't know what. They're just Facebook and YouTube and StreamYard are not playing nice today.
So actually, down where you would type the comment in at on the
I could where it says all, I could go just me on my YouTube. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when Dawn posts the links during my shows, it hits YouTube, it hits Twitch, it hits.
I know. It's worse. It's worse on Stupid O'Clock because Joe Dog goes, "Hey, here's 5 million channels," and if you type in a comment when you have it set to all, it just goes everywhere on the planet. I mean, Al Jazeera complains.
Well, we're already banned in 170 countries.
Hey, yeah, anywhere where the Star Spangled Banner is claimed to be copyrighted by somebody from the Middle East.
Yeah.
We will cope, and maybe one day Facebook will sober up.
Hello, Blade.
That was a nice comment.
Hey, Blade.
Hello, Thesis.
You're welcome to join in anytime you feel like it.
Yeah,
If you
we've got
can't, we understand.
Mm-hmm. Um. Uh, mm, Evidently, Thesis and I have a lot in common with treatment by bullies in our younger years. Although he is much better equipped to respond, he could defend himself. I had to learn escape and evade. Um,
Yeah.
the best way not to get bullied is for me be someplace else or dodge, duck, rabbit. Um, I had some bullies in high school that thought throwing me up against a brick wall was fun, and I wasn't able to deal out any repercussions in kind, but I'm evil. I told their girlfriends. Oh, no. Underhanded Dan strikes again. Um, you're not going to get any for a month because your girlfriend thinks I'm cute. And that's probably why you thumped me. In any case, that was a sidetrack that I shouldn't have ever gotten involved in. But
how many got paybacks in a novel though?
No one from high school. One from college, and she deserved it. Here,
Dan, on the shocking side of things, I discovered Saturday that Sheena Easton turned 65.
thank you, Chris. Sincerely.
Hey, I also saw a picture of Julie Newmar at 90 and still looking amazing.
I bet Sheena Easton is still pretty damn hot too.
Oh, she's freaking phenomenal.
When John posted that photograph of the South American woman that wanted to get in on the Miss Universe, and
Now,
I'm
I
going,
did miss that part.
I looked at the photo and I go, honey, you got a serious chance. I mean,
well, I have said for a long time that if Bobcat Goldthwait can be engaged to Nikki Cox, there's hope for all of us. Here is a photo I put in the group chat, link chat, of Nikki Cox, so you can see why I said that.
haven't heard the ping yet.
It's sending it. It hasn't sent it yet.
Oh, okay.
Keep in mind, I have the same illustrious internet that you do, Dan.
Oh, you're screwed.
Not in a good way either.
No, not in one of the fun ways. No.
Oh, they're all the fun ways. You just have to have the right kink.
Oh, it's sent now.
I see it in Messenger.
Yeah, that's
holy.
Yeah, that's why I said if Bobcat Goldthwait could even be engaged to someone that pretty and hot, there's hope for all of us.
Um,
And this was the same little girl that Data responded to that he.
Oh, I remember that episode.
Oh boy. Um,
Yeah, that's her all grown up.
I do believe grown is the operative term. Um,
You know, Scott Adams, guy who makes Dilbert,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
he's in his 60s. He got married a couple of years ago to a very nice looking 30-year-old woman. Very nice looking.
Mm.
I guess it pays to be a multimillionaire.
See,
I
I
can't
don't
say
plan
from
on-
experience, but yes, it certainly does. Um,
I don't plan on getting rid of mine. I just finally figured out, each of the various personalities. So love you, honey.
I don't know if she's in the
suddenly, a
chat,
knife
but
goes through the ceiling and lands on your desk right in front of your keyboard,
I
missing
just
it by this much.
noticed your T-shirt, Joe. That's funny.
Oh, to be or not to be.
yeah, yeah, Trey, that's her that I've been talking about because I don't think you're in the link chat.
Hmm. Ah, there's an eyelash in my eye, and I am trying desperately to get rid of it, but I may be
Oh yeah,
blinking
those
a
suck.
lot.
Those suck.
You know, Joe, there's only 10 people in the world. Those who know binary and those who don't.
Exactly.
Although food, caffeine, and shiny rocks, Trey, you and I have a lot in common. My wife brings me shiny rocks, and I am very well fed and very well caffeinated. But the fact that she goes out and finds me interesting rocks to look at. Um, one of my father's fascinations was geology and uh, fossils. And he spent a great deal of money on small fossil bearing rocks. And I actually got him a display case for them. And it's just the fact that Lindsay recognizes that I have this
Oh yes,
genetic weakness for small shiny things.
Taylor Momsen
Oh,
of the Pretty Reckless.
Yeah.
oh, good Lord. Will this not go away?
No, you're gonna have to wait till you go to sleep, and maybe it gets caught up in another one, and your eyes blink, and it gets bent back into shape or out of the way or whatever.
I have OSHA training. I know how to squirt water in my eyeballs and not be entirely miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Just mostly miserable.
Yeah.
Think I may have finally gotten it. We shall see. Now, what shall we attempt to talk about tonight before we go off on a tangent?
Hey, we could really send the show off the rails and see if my wife wants to join in on here.
I wish she would.
Yep.
I mean, Trey is always welcome.
It would increase the cool factor and the fun factor by a
I mean, Trey
significant
thesis.
margin.
I mean, if Aphasia, go away. I'm trying to remember somebody's name. If Keisha was up this late and didn't have a baby to take care of, she'd be welcome. I mean, seriously, everybody. Um, if Brian K. Morris goes, hey, I want to pop in.
Let me copy this link.
Ooh, I'm not counting anymore if you all don't want to be anywhere near the rails.
Honey, where we're going, rails never existed in the first place. It was all dirt tracks. Oh, God. I was just warning somebody about driving in North Carolina today. I can't remember who it was. They were gonna cruise by Raleigh, and I go, that's the worst traffic on the planet. I mean, seriously, I don't care who says. Trying to do Tokyo Drift in Tokyo is less dangerous than driving through Raleigh. Those people do not pay attention to lane changes, turn signals, or whether or not they have brakes. And speed limits are only a suggestion.
Oh, absolutely, Bladed. They got songs that just won't let
And we have a goddess with us now.
Hey, y'all.
Hello.
Good to see your.
It's nice to see your smiling face.
Good to see all of you.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it.
You got little barriers on tonight?
Yes, I got my bear ears on tonight.
And I was looking at your latest crochet, and I'm going, okay. Before you decided to put a beak on it, I'm going, half a bikini for my wife.
Well, now there's two of them.
Oh, hey, 2/3 of the bikini,
right? Yeah, the commission was for two, so.
Well, all good things come in pairs.
Yeah, I wanted you to see the photo I was talking about.
Right? Dang.
Yep.
Really?
Hey, Bobcat did really good for a little while.
Wait a minute. For a little while, she dumped him?
They were only engaged. They never got married. Now, I don't know how long they were engaged for, but he definitely, as one of my friends like to say, outkicked his coverage.
I understand that, but I wish I didn't.
Right.
And the guy with 2 ex-wives that are no longer with us wants to say, yeah, until the money ran out. I'm cynical. I'm old. Give me a break.
No, she found other opportunities and better looking packages.
I am so not touching that line. I am just so not touching that line.
In packaging, how does that sound? The words are a key.
Hey, I ran out of money years ago. Lindsay's still with me. I don't know why.
Stockholm syndrome.
Close fit no cigar.
Mutual interest and bonding through sharing of those mutual interests.
I'm glad you said bonding.
Get BDSM.
Well, of course, this is not the green room. I shouldn't be saying bondage tonight.
Hey,
Don't make me
we're
tap the
kinky,
sign.
but we're not quite that kinky yet.
Yet.
It's not in the
Yet.
cards, but oh shit! I'm the one that had handcuffs hanging on the sword rack when she got here. Um,
Dang it, boy.
hey! They're the fake ones. You don't need keys.
It doesn't matter.
It's all symbolic in the end, isn't it?
And there's no kink shaming here.
Just keep questioning.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't question anybody else's kinks. Never mind. I talk about the next door neighbor too much.
Funny.
She writes books. I mean, seriously.
Well,
If there's anything that you didn't know about before, she has a PhD in sexology.
okay.
Yes. I promote her books. She's got one that is fiction, and she
Yeah.
says, no, you got to separate this from my professional work. And I'm going, that's kind of like trying to tell Michaela,
Mm-hmm.
keep your shirt on, honey. No, Michaela does not unclothe herself in front of us. She does like to be a tease.
Just a little bit.
Hey, it's all right. I mean, we're guys. It's fair game.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, that phrase just started the Robin Hood Men in Tights. We're men, manly men.
Oh,
That was a rousing rendition.
It just occurs to me. You may not be familiar with the musical work of Martin Mull.
Can't say that I am, but you know.
He is I think he's still with us, so
Yeah, I believe so.
a very, very
God.
talented, very tongue-in-cheek, very irreverent sort of comedian.
Okay.
Wasn't he with the SCTV? SCTV?
Yes, he was. He was also a bad guy on Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman.
Well, he was also Colonel Mustard in the 1985 movie adaptation of the board game Clue.
Okay.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. But I have 3, maybe 4 of his musical albums, and one of the songs is called Men. And it's basically about being a British sea captain in the middle of the Pacific in a ship all filled with men.
Oh, Lord.
And yes, he milks it for all it's worth. So, yeah, look up Martin Mull Men and on YouTube and see if it's there. It may not be there because of parental restrictions, but
You know what? Lucille Boggin is on there, so I believe that they really don't care anymore.
hey, as long as I can sell ads, I don't give a shit what they show.
Right. By
kinda
Jove, I found it.
You found it?
I found it.
Okay. give it a listen in your own time.
Yeah.
Bookmark it. You'll want to come back.
Well, if they've got Wheeler Walker on there,
No, I'm so happy to turn people on to some of
he's
the
not.
humorists that I grew up with. And well, I'm
He's not.
much younger than the '80s, but '70s and '80s was when they were really, really popular. But I mean, seriously, if there's some smartass out there that has a great video, I'm probably going to be able to remember them from vinyl. So, I mean, I've got Weird Al on vinyl. I don't even have to go to YouTube. Oh my God, I remember when he was young. Um, Hell, I remember when George Washington was young. Jesus.
Yep.
I remember when Jesus was young. Damn it.
Well, you
Nick!
are out of Appalachia.
You I heard you sharpen George's axe for him, Dan.
Hey, I like cherry pie. Um, and believe me, that stuff burns really well.
Cherry bomb.
The Runaways.
Changes. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, Janie Lane didn't like it so much. He liked the video, but he got sick of the song in a hurry.
Hey, there are a lot of bands that get really sick of having to redo this one throwaway song that happened to hit the top 10.
Yep.
Um,
Yep, Mike Score of Flock of Seagulls can't stand Iran.
yeah. He probably wanted to shoot his hairdresser too, but
Hell, they all worked as hairdressers while they were getting their album out. I think, except for the guitarist, he was 15 years old. Which that would have never happened in this day and age, but back then.
no. In this day and age, there wouldn't have been anybody in the band that was older than 12.
Right.
I mean, Boys to Men comes to mind. Oh, you're 13, you're fired.
No, that was Menudo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was.
Thesis is here.
Hey!
Hey, Thesis!
Greetings, things.
Related?
My musical bent has attracted him to the conversation.
Oh, I can talk about music for hours.
Yep.
Well,
Oh,
certain music.
Me and Dad could talk about it for days. Hours is not a problem.
we have done that. And usually it's, hey, do you remember this? Go, no. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I do. I wasn't impressed then, but they became something.
Yeah.
Seriously. Music is one of those topics that tends to bring people together, whether they are audiophiles or just casual top 40 radio listeners or whatever. My wife is still astounded when I can walk in and she's watching some obscure video from some band that she absolutely adored when she was a child in England. And I go, oh, yeah, I've got 2 of their albums. She goes, what?
I was listening to some. It was Shades of Deep Purple.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm listening in the office when I still lived with my parents. And my mom goes walking by, and I see her kind of back up, and she looks in. She's like, "Is that you playing that?" I was like, "Yeah, that's Shades of Deep Purple. I'm aware of that, Mom. That's Hush." "Yes, Mom. I listened to that." "Where do you think I heard it the first time, Mom?" And she just did like this little smile and wiggle and just kept going. I was like, "Ma, come on."
Hey, my
Well, Dan,
parents were really proud that I got an interest in Glenn Miller and the Dorsey brothers,
Hmm.
and who's the clarinet player? Oh,
yes,
memory. Why do you embarrass me? Um,
Because you need information, and your brain is saying, you know what? No, not right now.
I cut the link before it got into the words, Trey, but I had to see what it was.
Oh, Miss Lucille Bogan.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
You need to see who I mentioned and check out some of his stuff when you get a
right.
chance.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Well,
Uh huh.
well, I just saw that in the private chat, and that reminded me of the conversation my mom's friend Anna had with her high school AP history class, U.S.
Mm-hmm.
history class. They're talking about, she was saying something about the song lyrics and, how they're so sexualized now and this and that. And then she played Simon and Garfunkel, Lay Me Down in the Tall Grass and Let Me Do My Stuff. And all the students are sitting there going, right, Mrs. Zervos. That, yeah,
So
that's
wholesome.
that's so wholesome and innocent.
Right.
Yes.
All she had to do was listen to Conway Twitty's Lay You Down."
Yep.
Go back further than that to the 40s or 30s. Roll Me Over in the Clover.
Yeah.
Go back further than that to the 20s with Jelly Roll.
Mm.
He sang some naughty songs.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. One of my parents' favorite bands was the Bill Black Orchestra, and they're jazz. And unless you've got a really good stereo, it's saxophone based jazz. In case someone is not fond of that particular instrument, but when you have albums called Solid and Raunchy, and you listen to it and you go, this belongs in a Dean Martin movie with dancing girls that my dad would not let me watch. Yeah, but it's good music, especially if you like instrumental jazz. And I have still not gotten rid of that damn eyelash.
Told you those are difficult to get away
I
from.
know. It's damn near impossible.
Oh man, you just reminded me of that character Martin Short played. This chain smoking lawyer that kept saying, I know that. Don't you think I know that?"
Yes, Chris, I'm afraid you're right. And we shall see.
Yeah.
Hey, these things happen.
Oh,
There are always speed bumps on the highway of life.
oh yeah.
Sometimes they're people, sometimes they're not.
Well,
Sometimes you wish they were.
Right.
Yeah.
Dan, are you familiar with the movie Top Secret?
Yes.
You remember the scene where Deja Vu's trying to be philosophical and talks about life is full of its little miseries? Each of us must learn to deal with them in a mature and adult fashion. He sneezes in his hands and looks down in horror and jumps through the window.
I I do remember a character going, "Yes, my name is Nick. My
Well,
father
that was
named
Val
me."
Kilmer.
Yes, my father named me. He was shaving at the time. It just
Yeah,
came to him. Oh God, I don't remember if that was Top Secret. Or it was
it
another
was
one.
top secret. He's in the restaurant with Hillary Flamon, Dr. Flamon's daughter.
Um, Now I will say there's something that I wish a lot of people would listen to. That is a very obscure Hawkwind album. It is Lucky Leaf and the Longships, and it's very Viking themed. But
Nice.
there are things in there that are going, uh, this ain't Viking, dude. This is y'all stoned as playing, playing all kinds of crap. Um, but then again, they also dip into um, the mythology of the time period and the culture,
Mm.
and they through the medium of pop music, which is,
Mhm.
I mean, they were a metal band, but through the medium of the pop culture that they were being presented on the radio as, they actually had some very good um, educational
Hmm.
bits about early Norse um, mythology and whatnot. They outlined everything in a very easy to understand manner. Not oversimplified, but it was there. Uh, if you were interested enough, you could go look up the actual myths and legends. So, hey, it's pretty good. They also did one called uh, Captain Lockheed and the Starfighters, which was all about what a piece of shit the F-104 fighter jet was and how many people it killed because it was so difficult to maintain. Um, that's basically a soundtrack for a movie that never got made. Um, oh, Hawkwind is one of my favorite bands. They've got they started recording albums in 1969, and some of them are still going.
Nice.
Yes, and a lot of their stuff I really liked the most was mid to late 70s and early 80s, and it's I guess you could classify it as space rock because it's a full band, but it is all science fiction themes, and it has every damn synthesizer that anybody ever invented back when synthesizers nobody knew a mini moog from a Casio. Um, I love this band. I absolutely love this band. I've, I've only got about 57 of their albums.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah. Well, I've only got 70 of Frank Zappa's, so about half. I mean, prolific does not describe them. Um, and they went through a lot of personnel changes over the years. There was one guy that was one of their best songwriters, but they had to jump on the bus and abandon him at a hotel because he came out with pistols and hand grenades during a staff meeting.
Oh, I mean, who hasn't wanted to do that?
Wanted to,
Yeah.
yes, but actually,
He's just living the dream.
Yeah. Well,
You're
they
fine.
left him to live his dream.
When you
Very,
finally reach
very,
that point
very
of
fine.
this meeting could have been an email for the 15th time.
It could have been a text, no less.
It could have been a wink and a glance in the hallway. Oh, but oh, I don't know where the fuck I was going. I don't care. I may have gotten there. I may not have. I don't care. I'm not ashamed. Squirrel.
Oh, I need more caffeine.
No, the squirrel is nailed to the wall in my bedroom.
Never mind.
Then what's in my yard?
Not
Yeah.
great, but not bad.
Now I'm hearing Mark Bolan and T-Rex going, I have never nailed a squirrel before. Oh my God, my wife is going to kill me because she worships him. Oh,
Well, either he didn't because he had no desire to, or he was too incapacitated on drugs and what other stuff to be able to catch one.
let's pray it was drugs. I mean,
Could be a combination of things.
well, Mark didn't live that long, but he made a hell of an impression on the music industry.
Oh yeah.
And usually people only remember him for 3 songs.
Yeah.
And I'm being generous there. Most people only remember him for 1 song. So,
Well, the Power Station did a great cover of that song.
yes, they did. Yes, they did. But then those were much more mature musicians.
Mm-hmm.
Almost said that backwards. I'm gonna have to
Well,
I'm gonna
two
have
of
to go
them.
get some more rum here because the pain ain't stopped and I still ain't making sense.
I'm going to show you one of my cartoons since you mentioned squirrels. If I can find it. Let's see.
No, if anybody's interested, please do look up the entire T-Rex catalog.
You do know there's a Facebook page called the Mark Bolan Archives, don't you?
I do not, but I don't need it because I've got it on vinyl. No, I'm just going, folks. This is one of those things where once you understand the premise, you will go.
I don't know
But
if
that's so simple. And then you listen to the music and you go, yeah, the lyrics are really, really simple and repetitive, but all the instrumentalism behind it is not simple and it is not repetitive. It's jamming at its finest. Ooh, ooh. Paul's got this. Um,
Since you mentioned squirrels,
Mm.
Oh, jeez.
Good lord.
shut up, Eugene. I've I've heard "shut up, Eugene," and I didn't know the context. Damn it!
Shut up, Wesley.
I
I
sometimes
I could have lived out the rest of my life without knowing that context. Good night, Felicia. Um, oh Lord. Uh, all right, I'm going to go and put a little bit more rum in this empty glass, but I'm not taking the headphones with me. And which is a shame because Dawn and Donna are not here trying to get me to miss the toilet if I go to the bathroom. So,
Who's
you
to
know,
say we wouldn't try it?
Right?
I know you would, but they have
We
better
are
aim.
pictures of innocence.
They have better aim.
Mm.
You just lob the
Tra-
jokes
tra-
and hope something hits.
translation, they know which buttons to push.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, it's hard to believe that Taylor Momsen's little Cindy Lou Who from
I
the
know,
Wild.
right?
God, when I
That's
heard that, I'm
okay.
like, holy shit, dude. Wow.
The girl that plays the president's daughter in Independence Day was also in
Hmm.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh,
She was the female that Ramona had dated.
huh.
Hmm.
Well, I love Scott Pilgrim versus the World just because Mary Elizabeth Winstead's in it, but unfortunately, she's married to Ewan McGregor, so my chances with her are astronomically small.
You don't want to try and,
Well,
fight a Jedi over a woman? Could be fun.
Yeah,
Just get the high ground. It'll be fine.
You'll be all right,
It's okay.
but yeah. And I believe she also played Huntress in the Harley Quinn movie.
Wouldn't know. Haven't seen that one.
It's fun. In fact, I think he's in it.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he kind of plays a slightly deranged individual too. But he's a great actor. He covers a broad range of stuff. But
Oh yeah.
he mimics Alec Guinness so well that you truly believe
Yeah.
he was Obi-Wan.
mhm.
And not only that, Dennis Lawson, the one who played Wedge, is his real life uncle.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. Wedge Antilles is Obi-Wan's uncle in real life.
Yep.
Huh.
Yep. Learned something tonight.
Yeah.
I usually learn something from these shows, whether it's, necessary or good things to know,
Mhm.
but it's always something.
Well, if I'm involved, it's usually useless trivia.
Oh, I have just bucket loads of that kind of stuff.
In
Mostly
fact,
from the last 40 years, but that's
there is a movie that has Dennis Lawson in it. I believe it's called Water. It also has Eric Idle in it. And I believe Michael Caine is also in it.
Oh, Joe Dog's awake.
Yeah, he saw the picture.
Yeah.
That would wake damn near anybody up.
Right.
Do we need anything down in Maryville tomorrow, dear?
BJ's.
Oh.
Not touching that one.
Circle on back. But in all seriousness, goodness gracious, I haven't even drank. I can't think of anything.
I have.
Okay. Wasn't sure if you needed any more yarn or anything.
No, I think I got that covered for now.
Yeah, there's only 5 transfer trucks out in the yard.
Shh. He only knows about 3.
It's a good thing I didn't tell him about the express orders.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. We'll get those in through the window, and he'll never know.
Hey, they show up in boxcars.
If you can get anything in through these windows in this house, all the more power to you.
This one opens. The one right here opens real well.
Well,
she's got a hammer.
It's
just
fine.
because they open doesn't mean they have to close.
Ours are from the 50s, and they're the swing.
I'm
the bottom
very
swing
familiar,
open.
believe me.
Yeah.
Ours are so old they're not even cranked. They're literally the pull up the handle, bring it around, and push out.
Push.
And they are insulated with asbestos. So
wait, they're insulated?
Yeah.
They're insulated with tea towels along the edges.
That's because the asbestos wore out.
It's probably floating around the house.
Oh.
I just want to know how much a Chevy avocado is going for.
Chevy avocado?
Yeah, looking stupid o'clock. You'll see. I'll post it.
No, I know better. I don't click on anything.
It doesn't have a link to a Rickroll. I promise you.
In Colorado.
It's half Avalanche and half Colorado. I wouldn't do that to you, Dan. As much as I despise getting Rickrolled, I ain't doing that to somebody.
I pulled it up, and there's an avocado car. It's a car shaped like an avocado.
And now Joe Dog wants 3.
He probably does.
Wants to run around with little signs on the side that say, we're Google Earth. That's who we are. Yeah. That's the ticket.
See, now I want to send that to my buddy Tony and be like, "Hey, look, it's your new job site vehicle."
Right. It looks like a Geo.
I don't know what it is, but it's freaking hilarious.
It's cute.
Believe me, I grew up through the era that avocado was an acceptable color for household appliances.
Yep. Sad but true.
Thankfully, it was near Knoxville, and that fad wore off. I guess when the radiation died down.
Yeah, I was explaining some stuff to Joe Dog about Nikki and Bobcat.
I hope you use small words.
Well, they ought to resonate better with him, but you know.
Hey, I pick on Joe Dog a lot, but it's because I know he's well able to volley back with a riposte, no matter how hard I thrust. Uh, uh,
Okay, Dan, so you don't have to look it up. I'm about to save you some trouble.
why am I worried? Oh, this does not bode well. This does not bode well. That is one ugly truck.
I've seen worse.
It,
I have
it
two.
was
I
named
want
after
one.
it was named after an avocado. It's an ugly piece of food.
That's a Chevy? What did
It's
they do?
definitely got
Steal
the
a
front
design
end
from
of an
Ford?
avalanche.
Ah,
I'm sure it was Photoshop, but it's still freaking hilarious.
oh, there's a guy whose YouTube videos that I watch. He rebuilds tanks, military tanks, and he had a Russian, I think it was what, a T-72, and
Yeah.
they were trying to take it apart to get the engine to run again, and I posted back, what was this bit built by Fiat Motors? I mean, seriously, this is the dumbest damn design that I've ever seen in my life.
It was built by Russians who didn't.
Basically, you had to have a torch and take the damn thing apart before you could get to the starter. God help you if you ever had to change a spark plug.
Pretty much.
So either that picture is photoshopped or a redneck with a welder was involved.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's
Both
freaking hilarious.
are likely. Oh.
I'm actually leaning more towards the redneck, but
Yeah, because it looks like it actually works.
You're now AI generated.
Oh,
no, if it
let's
was
not
AI
go there.
generated, it would have put a
I
foreman
don't
on
think
the
it would
front.
look that uniform if it was AI, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if it
it
was
would have, like,
AI, it'd have
18 lug
16
nuts.
tires and only 2 on the
I
front.
think that was either really done or somebody who's really good at Photoshop.
And believe me, I greatly respect redneck engineering because some of my kinfolk can come up with some Dr. Frankenstein designs for things.
If you have somebody that's from the country, has a little bit of mechanical ability, and
And
a
welder and a
wild
torch.
and a wild imagination,
And fears no God.
yep, they can come up with some pretty jaw-dropping stuff.
Hey, some of them came up with, NASCAR. So, I mean, seriously,
I don't know if
let's drive 300 miles in a circle
Oh, those are
and
Ford
charge people
bootleggers.
admission to watch.
I don't know if he's going to be at Hallowcon, Joe. But if there's a certain someone there, you need to ask him about the potato cannon.
Go on.
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
I don't want people from
He
the
doesn't
military.
want to spoil.
Oh, you can't dangle that carrot and not give me. Never mind, not the green room.
Yeah, well,
I was heading straight for the green room with that
yeah,
comment.
Yes, I realize,
but
and
yeah,
we would have welcomed it with open arms. Good
but
Lord!
if he and you are there, I will try and make sure that conversation happens.
Excellent.
Oh my goodness! Ah,
I know the statute of limitations is wore out, and some of the people that were in charge may be dead, but there may be still an open cold case investigation involved. So I'm trying to protect the innocent and the guilty.
sounds like
Fair
my
enough.
first marriage.
We should hopefully know sometime in August if we're going to be able to come down.
Oh, I sincerely hope so.
Oh yeah.
If there's anything we can do to make it easier, please let us know.
If you can make the bureaucratic circumstances work in their favor.
Hey,
Well, it's all going to depend on if we can get the because for the Dark in the Park event, the National Honor Society from the high school helps out with it.
So you got to convince them, and probably that's not going to happen until the school year starts, and that probably isn't going to happen until August.
Well, they also do. Yeah, they also do stuff during that week that we usually are setting up, so they might be amendable to switching it, just so it's not everything all in one week.
Yeah.
Well, if it's just the vacation time you need, we can always get John to show up with the Tennessee National Guard. I found that bureaucrats are much more amenable to signing paperwork when there's actual armored cannons pointing at them.
Then it would have to be the Georgia National Guard because he lives in Rossville.
Georgia. Have connections.
Okay, well.
Hey, look up the chart of who owns all of the nuclear weapons in the world. My cousin Jeff is the lowest on the list, but he's still got 9. Not even Washington refuses to acknowledge. Hey, Jeff says we can't do this. Oh, my dear. Oh.
Yeah, we are going to work on being able to get down there for that this year.
That would be awesome.
Well,
I do appreciate y'all making the effort to at least try.
We are looking forward to whichever opportunity you get to show up, just like Richie and his family. Whichever way it works out, it doesn't matter what year. Hallowcon is not going to stop anytime soon. This is not a short-term thing.
Look at what's working now.
Oh, hey.
Let's see, Facebook.
Hey, Sarah.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Sarah. We have not been able to receive a comment from Facebook for almost 4 hours now.
Yeah.
Well, we're basically Memorex at this time, but
we're glad that you decided to join in.
Yes.
On the chat.
And not usually on Facebook, but here we are. Hey,
not complaining.
Really, I'm used to seeing you on Nick's show in the morning. So if you're up this late, you must be working.
Would you like to be a part of the show,
on
Sarah?
some anything.
Would you like to be a part of the show, Sarah? Because I can send you a link.
Chris can do many things. And some of them we can't talk about until Friday. But
Friday, the green room's always open.
Right.
not during the show, thank you.
Well, it's still open, just not for us.
Okay.
And Thesis, I wanted to especially thank you for
Well, that's
being here
fine,
this evening,
Sarah, but
because I realize there's a, how do I put this politely? A personality conflict that sometimes leads you to take the path less trodden.
Mm-hmm.
And no, and seriously, from your show tonight, I mean, I watched the whole thing. I made a couple of comments in the afterwards because I didn't wake up until like 20 minutes after your show ended. I'm sitting here, I'm going, oh, I went out and worked in the yard today and ate supper, and
Out like a
I'll
light.
be functional later. Good night. And then there you were, and I hate to miss being able to comment live, but you know, not everybody's schedules work out 100% all the time. So, you and I have a
hey, Angelina, we're just
great
getting all sorts of company tonight.
a great deal of being bullied commonality in our younger years.
And that was just one story that felt like
I know. You probably got a whole lot better stories than I do. But like I said, my defense was escape and evade. Just the best defense is not to be there.
Traylana and Bladed were in U2 and Paul as well. I don't know about anybody else, Sarah.
And Angelina, yeah, you mentioned her. You just said.
Yep, she just said, "Hey guys."
I don't know who all was in YouTube, but
well, like I said earlier, Bladed, Trey, and Paul were all in it.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Well, once again, we got more people on the screen we have in chat, but hey,
the chat's growing.
It's one big, happy, dysfunctional family, and that's the way we like it.
We put the fun in dysfunctional.
Hey, Sarah. Yep, this is my face. I'm sorry if I disappoint you.
Carl and Donna had some storms rolling through, so they decided
yeah. And
getting,
and Dawn left a little bit early because tonight
Dawn had a very busy day today. Although I really like the way her stylist did her hair.
Yeah, it really suits her.
Oh God, yes, it did. Now I had never imagined her with blonde highlights, but you hot mama. Hey. Talk to Lindsay. I do not have any permission to make any statements whatsoever.
And for those following along in the chat, here's a recent picture, or fairly recent picture of Taylor Momsen.
Oh, yes.
Where she doesn't have all the dark makeup around the eyes.
Makes a
So
difference.
she doesn't look like a raccoon. Okay.
Not in this particular photo. And that was Cindy Lou Who from the live animated version or live version of The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Stole Christmas. Yep.
She has a fantastic smile, and
Yep.
I'm finding it very difficult to focus on anything over her nose. But I am a damn near 70-year-old male, so cut me some slack. Okay.
Yes, Sarah, I am the Chris in the Nevermind the Furthermore chat. So now you see the face with the name. So hopefully I haven't damaged your optical nerves and sensors.
Sarah, this is the absolutely beautiful man that has inspired the Squeeze Squad to form.
Yep.
The Cult of Chris, and he is not the leader. He is merely the icon. Okay.
Caffeine and sugar of you beware. You interest Dan strangely.
Paul is a very interesting guy. He's a writer. Me, I'm just this guy. I mean, I do what I do what I do, and that's all what I do. And I like spinach, so beware.
Yes, Nick's auditory senses appreciate your discretion in doing it when he's not around.
Well, the ultrasonic element of the Squeeze Squad is not here at the moment because Dawn had a very, very busy day, and actually, if you've ever watched Nick's show, you will see in the background Dawn going, and please believe me, she is actually making sound. It's just in frequencies that not even dogs can hear. Aliens are going, hey, who locked the doors?
Yeah, I was going to say, Sarah, I imagine you probably recognize me from popping in on NTF quite a bit. And a few times I've hosted the Gradient editions. So I don't know. Have you ever seen Trey on camera though? So I don't know if you popped into any of our streams.
It might not have.
We're friends on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure she's seen the weekend breakfast updates.
I've seen Sarah in chat, but I don't think she's ever seen the elderly disgrace that I've become. Yes, I'm immortal. Shut up.
And a huge Hawkwind fan. As well as King Crimson.
Oh my God, yes. This is one reason why Chris and I can talk music for days on end. Because we both have an appreciation of some of the same bands from the time period where I was in college and Chris was in kindergarten, and but somebody had some cool music to play.
Mm,
No, I'm only about 10, maybe 15 years older than Chris, if that, and 5 at the absolute least. But my memories go all the way back to 1960. That's when I first started to remember things.
it depends, Sarah. You might be surprised.
Yeah, don't count on that.
Right.
My musical tastes are so widely varied. I have
Polyamorous.
like
Polyamorous, that's a good way to put it.
Polyamorous.
I listen to anything from ABBA to ZZ Top and much in between.
I got like 24 vinyl records within arm's length of me, and most people who look at them go, "None of this makes any goddamn sense. Why?"
That's because they don't understand you.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Ever hear of Communion After Dark?
Ooh.
We got
Going to in a second here.
Miles
Miles
Davis.
Davis.
mm,
That's my most recent one.
mm. Sarah?
Peebo Bryson.
I haven't bought vinyl since the
Okay.
80s.
Yep.
But I have a shitload of digital now, which I'm willing to share with anybody that wants it. However, it's going to be weird because I'm me.
I have to redo my iTunes library because I have a new computer that I haven't uploaded everything to. But on my iPod for my previous one that died, I have 36 days of music on.
Nice.
Am I allowed to attempt to corrupt Thesis?
You can try.
Can you corrupt the already corrupted though?
I was gonna say that ship sailed a long time ago.
It depends on the corruption you're talking about.
Musically. Thesis, please look up any way you can get your hands on to the, I think it's called The Young Person's Guide to King Crimson. Oh, and Chris goes, "Oh, you motherfucker." I went hardcore right then. It's like I bypass Black Sabbath and go straight for King Crimson. Yeah.
Well, there's been so many people part of the project.
No.
And they're doing a tour with the 80s stuff.
The weirdest thing is that everybody that's still living that has ever been in the band is going, Robert Fripp wants to do an album? I'm in. Give me a bus ticket. Give me a plane ticket. I don't care what country he's in. No, and when Robert Fripp calls, King Crimson responds. And there have been an astounding number of world famous people that have been members of King Crimson. And they're going, excuse me, Robert Fripp wants to do an album. I'm in. I mean, if you've ever heard of Brian Eno,
Yeah.
he partnered with Fripp for a long time. They have albums out together, which
Yeah.
are astounding. Um,
If you've ever heard of a guy by the name of John Wetton, who was part of the supergroup Asia, he was also in King Crimson for a
and
time.
also in Yes, and also in several other bands. I mean, it's one big incestuous musical family, and they are on their own and together incredibly amazing.
Brian Eno and Steve Vai are in this current upcoming tour of King Crimson with Robert Fripp's blessing, although he is not performing on the tour, doing all three of their 80s albums.
Steve Vai
Yeah.
Oh man.
is going to jam with Brian Eno.
Yep.
Take my fucking money. All of it. I don't care. All of it. I want to see this shit. Mm.
Yeah,
I mean,
Steve Vai was
you're crossing over the Frank Zappa musicians with the King Crimson musicians, and I'm going, you shouldn't have crossed the streams. You shouldn't have crossed the streams. I'm so glad you crossed the streams.
On an interesting side note, Steve Vai learned how to play guitar from Joe Satriani.
You know, I often think that what's the one word with the Talking Heads and Robert Fripp?
Stop making sense.
Well, no, not the album. The guitar player. I can't remember his name right now.
Yeah, I think him and the bass player were married.
I'm.
It's not the lead singer you're talking about. You're talking about the actual lead guitarist, right?
Well, a guitarist, yes.
Or are you talking about David Byrne, the
No,
vocalist
not
and rhythm
David Byrne.
guitarist?
I would have to look it up, damn it. My memory is crap these days.
Give me a second, man.
I'm getting old. Frame by frame. He was really there for now I can't even remember the album title. He worked with Talking Heads. He worked with King Crimson.
You talking about Nile Rodgers?
No, that's not the right name. I know that's not the right name.
Jerry Harrison was keyboards and guitar.
Really fancy guitar player. Very theatrical guitar player.
That's pretty much all of them, isn't it?
Okay, their first collaboration was the producer Brian Eno, who previously worked with Roxy Music, David Bowie, and John Cale and Robert Fripp.
Ow.
I don't know if you saw the comment from Sarah, honey, but looks like you got a bunch of music to look up.
I listened to some of those, yes.
If I give you a music recommendation list, it's going to have to be as a word processor file.
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to
Yeah.
go on for acres.
If you look at my my iTunes, it's interesting. It looks like several people share the same account.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dan, would it be Adrian Ballou?
That's the one.
Sorry, Toots.
Although he was much better known for working with folks like Talking Heads and a few of the other bands that are from around here. He was definitely
That was the
uh,
other thing I was going to tell you, Dan, before I forget. Kate Pearson of the B-52s turned 75. She has the same birthday as Sheena Easton.
I don't care. I see her at the charity shop. She's still hot.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, we're talking. You're not 22. I don't believe it. Um,
She has aged remarkably well. So is Cindy Wilson, for that matter.
they are both probably elves in disguise. They do not seem to age, and they never seem to get less hot. Um, and yes, I have seen a recent photo of Susie Quattro, and I'm going,
She
I
still
would,
looks pretty damn good, too.
I would still offer to peel the leather tuxedo off of you. Yes. Uh, I'm not stupid. I'm just musically oriented. Oh my God. There have been so many great bands. There's so many great performers that um not only were not well known, but didn't didn't even show up on lists of studio musicians because they only worked this tiny circuit of their local area, but they made it big briefly and then kind of
Thank you, Sarah. I will check
faded
some of that
away.
out.
But, they shouldn't have faded away because they were all very, very good. It's just the world is kind of large and it's impossible to take in one grasp as if it were a single city.
Mm.
Um,
Sorry,
hell,
Dan. I just went off on another tangent.
oh,
When you
fuck.
said the word large, I was thinking about Shelley Duvall singing in Popeye, the movie version about He's Large, about Bluto.
He's large and he's rich.
You see
Yeah,
why it's dangerous to get me and Dan talking about music?
yeah. We can bounce. We can heterodyne off of each other in a very, very dangerous method. And oh, God, if you ever see us off screen and we're talking about music, you're either gonna laugh until you puke, or you're gonna go, "I've got to go buy these albums," or both. I
Yeah,
mean,
possibly both.
seriously, possibly both. We are, we, Chris and I are a very dangerous combination. Um,
And that's without the Squeeze Squad.
hey, how else are we gonna hit the clubs in Dalton if we Don't leave the Squeeze Squad behind. I mean, we don't need an audience. We just need an unlimited number of dollar bills.
I don't think my co-hometown would be able to survive the shock.
Oh,
He's got a squeeze squad?
of course he does. Look at him. Hell, even my wife thinks it's cute. I'm going, honey, you want to stay married?
Oh, Lord. I seem to do well with involved people, which doesn't do me any good.
Chris. You seem to do well with, shall we say, any woman who is still among the breathing and a few that aren't. I mean, Elvira thinks you're hot.
I wish she did. She's hitting for the other team right now.
So?
Hey, if she wants to stray a little bit, I'll let her stray with me.
These accidents happen. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's not like you're having to fill out a report card.
No, but I don't think Bob Ross had that in mind when he was talking about happy little accidents.
Definitely a 10 out of 10. Would recommend Elvira.
You know it.
I've seen the reviews.
Nick would be so jealous.
Oh, God. Nick would be like, you got to tell me about this.
Tell me about her ears.
Ears. Yeah.
The ears.
They're not pointed.
And then work your way south from there.
Nick, if all you're thinking about her is her ears, you missed out on some stuff.
Oh, so there's a story behind that one. I believe that's what his father used to say when Nick was younger and he was trying to be politically correct. He was like, yes, she has very nice ears. And Nick was like, well, I'm looking at something else, but okay.
Well, I still won't.
This is why Nick thinks I'm an old god of Appalachia. I tend to spend a lot of time in the mountains. Gotcha.
That was good. That was good.
I could actually hear the cat through the floor.
I'm sure you could.
This is why Dolly Parton is a patron saint in Tennessee. They go, we like her music.
Them are some grand Tetons right there.
Hey,
it's
Sarah,
all her personality.
We can feed the world.
If you're still listening, The Cure got a shout out in an episode of South Park where Cartman yelled, "Disintegration is the greatest album in the history of music."
Nice. I was gonna say I've heard a couple of the ones that she's listed.
Oh, invaded by a tree. Sorry, Sarah. Are you aware of kudzu? I mean, seriously.
I was gonna say the remake of.
I can tell you all about kudzu.
What's it? The remake of Evil Dead?
No, this is Evil Alive, imported plant from Japan.
It was
Oh
a
no, I know kudzu, but
Yeah.
the show she's referencing, I'm pretty sure
Mm.
it's the
Oh,
remake
oh.
of Evil Dead.
So happened in the original too. Just
Yeah, it was
graphic.
not as graphic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, before I forget, I still want them to make, and Thesis shared this, but I've seen it for over a year now. I want them to make that movie where Elvira and Dolly
Dolly
Parton are
sisters.
long lost sisters, and they have to join forces to combine to fight forces of evil.
And
Oh,
they
yeah.
don't like each other much. But Elvira is the good sister.
Ooh.
Well, I haven't heard that
So
take on it, but yeah.
Hey, I'm a writer. I think of these things. I like to turn tropes on their heads.
Well,
Seriously,
I want there to be a
can
plot
you
twist.
imagine Dolly being the evil sister?
But
No.
she would still be southernly polite about it.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
And that's the most terrifying part about
Bless
it.
your heart.
Oh, bless your heart. Ah. My soul just withered. Ah.
Yep, I completely agree with that one, Sarah. And my parents are, that's all they listen to. So going on any kind of trip with them is like fingernails on a chalkboard for me. Yeah.
I will admit I do listen to a lot of country music, but that's also because the local radio station that has the best traffic updates.
Oh.
I like the radio personalities on that channel too.
Yeah.
That's the only kind of radio we have around here, and that's why I have this and Sirius on my phone. And
Oh, so you guys have both kinds of music, country and western.
Country and western.
we used to have
Every day I love you more, honey.
An oldie rock station that played everything from 80s to about mid 95. And then one day I was getting in my car to drive to college, and I had it on that station, and they were playing country. And I went, what the hell is this shit? Like, we don't already have 5 stations playing this garbage? So I wrote them a letter because, yeah, it was, early 2000s. So I wrote a letter, and they said, well, we decided that country was an untapped resource in this area. Are you fucking kidding me?
There's already 17 radio stations in this area playing exactly the same shit you're gonna play.
Nope.
Yeah, whoever that analyst was
80s hair
needs to be
metal
fired.
anymore.
Cowboy Punk's pretty funny.
I mean, hell, I live in the heart of the Bible Belt. We've got rap, we've got country, we've got rock, we've got alternative. But yeah, the country stations have a lot of influence.
I told you about the prank I played on the rock DJ that had to go to a country station in order to keep his job.
Poor bastard.
It depends on
I
the
reckon-
country. Country's not bad, but a lot of the modern stuff is like.
Yeah, but I caught him on the radio. The entire radio station he used to work for disappeared.
Yes, Sarah, have you ever heard of Hayseed Dixie? They're like bluegrass AC/DC cover band.
That just sounds just wrong. Just the very idea of that, just no.
The entire rock music station that he was a DJ for vanished into thin air. Extremely thin air. I heard him and recognized his voice on a country music station. And he says, hey, call in with your request. I'm on night shift at the factory, and I have access to a telephone with an outside line. This is not a good combination. Daniel with a phone. No. I called him up. I go, hey, yeah, what caused you to quit the rock station? He goes, I didn't quit the rock station. The rock station went all
With me.
talk radio, and I
Yeah.
couldn't stand that. So I had to change jobs. I go, okay, that's fine. I work in a factory where a lot of people listen to country, so this is how I heard you. And
Sarah,
he
it
goes,
is
"Is
wrong.
there anything I can play for you?" And I go, "Well, there's this new crossover between country music and rap music." He goes,
Yeah.
"What the hell is that?" And I go, "Well,
Crap.
it's crap." And he like fell off his stool at the radio station. I mean, I actually got airplay with that remark.
That'd do it.
There's a
Hey,
I think
Sarah.
station here that played classic rock, and it turned into Christian rock.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I got a
we're in the
bad
Midwest, so you get that a lot. But the
I wouldn't
last
choose a little
songs,
country.
the last song that they played when it was a rock station was "Highway to Hell."
They
early
knew.
Oh, they knew. They
2000s.
they went out with the middle fingers up. It
Yep.
was
Mhm.
Early
Let's-
2000s.
Take
And,
it with us.
This is why I don't listen to the radio in my wife's car, because she tunes to inspirational radio
Mhm.
stations. I tune to who's playing Black Sabbath right now. Um,
Hey Trey, what you should have done was
Boneyard.
you should have requested Stripers to hell with the devil.
uh,
I think it was like a whole theme hour
Mm.
or so of like Running with the Devil and
Mhm.
Highway to Hell
Absolutely.
and like all of those that they could just find.
early 2000s, I was in Houston, and they had a classic rock station I listened to. One day it stopped mid song, just psh, and it was blank. It was dead air, and then there was some static for about 30 seconds, and it came back as a Mexican channel.
Oh,
There's a switch.
right.
It was like
yeah.
they didn't give any warning. They didn't say, "Hey, we're switching formats." It was just all of a sudden mid song, stop the music,
Mhm.
and about a minute later, it was a
Dang.
Mexican radio station.
There
there
was
is
one I
another.
used to listen to at the factory, and it was one of the more powerful local stations, and it was one of the better alternative rock stations where you got to hear stuff that you never got to hear on mainstream radio.
Mhm.
And one day they started playing Christmas music,
Mhm.
and that went on until after New Year's, and then they were reformatted to a talk radio bullshit station, and nobody listened to them ever again except for brainwashed monkeys.
Mhm.
Um,
Hey Sarah, real quick, yeah, it is wrong on so many levels, but trying to hear a bluegrass keep up with the opening riff for Thunderstruck's pretty damn
It was a
interesting.
really good cover, if it's the
hey,
cover I'm
hey,
thinking of.
Mhm.
Even in the Skulls.
Oh yeah, Steve. Yeah, the Seagulls were awesome.
hey! I believe the Oak Ridge Boys could have done that
Oh, also,
before
Sarah, have you
before
heard
they
of the
lost
warning?
two of their members. They would have been more than happy to have attempted that. I mean, seriously, this is the guys that go Elvira and made a complete hit out of it before Elvira Mistress of the Dark ever existed. So, uh, um, there is some country music that is absolutely prime, just fantastic. There is some that is, I really don't need to hear Dead Mother songs now. And there is some that is more mainstream where it's okay. Um, can you do anything else? And that's my attitude towards it. Um,
There's a cover just called Pandering, and it's hysterical, but once you hear it, you can never hear new country music the same again because it all sounds like that song.
#1 radio single.
Oh man. The
yeah,
the girl with her arms outstretched and sundress, that is a scarecrow. Gets me every time.
Well,
last,
I'm
last time on YouTube I saw a girl in a sundress with her arms outstretched. The camera was not focused on her arms.
Sarah, I'm not a huge country fan. There are some bands and stuff that I grew up with that I'm kind of partial to just because fond memories with mom and dad and all and other family members. But my family went to school with Ray Stevens. My aunt, my uncle, and my dad all went to school with him.
I'm with Chris here in the way that I'm not a huge country music fan, but I can appreciate the artistry involved. And as I mean, y'all know me, as the writer that I am, I can appreciate the emotional pull and the complexity in the lyrics at sometimes. It just depends on who the artist is and whether or not they're being taken seriously.
Yeah.
There are very few out there that are incredible poets that should be taken seriously, but
Well,
never get airplay because they don't suck up to the Nashville money machine.
One artist from my childhood that I really like that is country is Kenny Rogers, but he's got a bevy of songwriters that helped him out. When you got Don Slitch writing songs for you, it's hard to go wrong.
And actually, his estate is less than 15 miles from my house. And I have to drive past it to get to the covered bridge over at Watson's Mill. It's a beautiful place. He's no longer with us. There are still golf tournaments going on there because he was really into golf. There are scattered, I don't want to call them horse barns, but they are places where thoroughbred horses can be safely kept and respected. And he had spent a lot of money on restoring these things from just Civil War era brick buildings into damn decent stables that you would not, no one would object to a horse being kept there. I just happen to be in one of those areas where.
Oh, and I got to mention this With it being baseball season, one of his last big hits was called The Greatest, and it's about little kids playing baseball and their mental attitude state as they're playing the game.
I've heard
Yeah,
that.
it's a cute
Anything,
song.
anything that helps children become more competent in themselves and explore their abilities and expand their worldview has got to be a good thing.
Yep.
I mean, seriously, kids get short shift these days because it's like 30 years after my generation, kids are going, oh, I don't have a babysitter. I've got television. I'm going, welcome to the club, kid. You don't have as good a television as I had, but you do have reruns. Not really good ones, but God. Oh God. You don't get first run Speed Racer anymore. You get Zark 7 and the imitation whatever they call
That's a Promise song, isn't it, Paul?
it. Why known as Big Brown Beaver? Yeah. No. I've seen that for years, and I'm not going. I'm married. I want to stay married. I'm not listening to this.
Now,
the
another thing
video's
about the
hilarious
radio station up here.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's perfectly innocent. It's just.
It's like plastic people.
It's like my wife is going to hear this from the other room, and
exaggerated plastic.
I do not want to have to explain it. So, no.
Yeah, you could stick with John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. That's probably a little more.
Sarah, excuse me, is this personal information or a song reference?
Well, since country song deals a lot of times with heartache and heartbreak, yeah, it is depressing. That's why I can't listen to much of it at a time. Some of it's good storytelling, some of it's just sad, and the world's difficult enough as it is without making it any more difficult to deal with.
Sarah, just for clarification, in our last 7 minutes, there was one time on my income tax report, I had to say I was married, widowed, and divorced at the same time.
As long as his vehicle doesn't leave him, we're in good shape.
Hey, I don't have a self-driving truck, okay? But if I play country music backwards, I get my truck back, I get my wife back. Well, no, I want the wife I've got now. I don't want the other ones, which would be difficult because they're in urns. But
it's just putting Ophelia back in necrophilia.
Yeah.
Hey! I still got my kids, and all of them are fantastic.
Yeah.
But no, I've got the perfect wife now. No joke whatsoever.
Sarah, nobody's perfect, and you're among friends, so have no fear.
Some other man's truck is parked in your driveway. Believe me, it wouldn't be parked there for long because I got a tractor. And
and on the subject of wives, Trey is for her first wife.
You're all right for first husband, so you know.
Yeah, there's a landfill only 20 miles away.
Oh, forget that. There's swampland.
Oh, there's no. Well, I started to say there's no swamps around here, but I'm not supposed to know where those swamps are. That's in the next county, and they're shallow. So I get a tractor. Yeah. Anything I need to get removed.
The night the lights went out in Georgia.
Oh, yeah. Actually, during the eclipse, that got played a lot. And my wife is really annoyed because she's going, that was the other girl on Carol Burnett that sang that? And I'm going, you didn't know that? I mean, seriously, Annie, we're talking 60s music here. You
Mama.
didn't know that? Yeah. All right, 4 minutes till. Yeah, Sarah, I've not only got a tractor, I've got 68 acres of ground that I could probably plant my mom's rose bushes on if we really wanted to get out of the land bank. But my hope is backhoe, Sarah, backhoe is a totally different thing.
I had one of those.
It's another different thing up here by Gary too.
This is more of what is the interior design term? A side piece, which is always good to have in your office.
Oh God! you just reminded me of that hilarious meme. There's a meme. The guy's sitting at a ball game. He's talking to us about, okay, here's the deal. A chicken sandwich restaurant that's only open on Sundays. You call it Side Chick.
I've seen that skit. I crack up every time.
Damn it, Chris. Oh my God. We're gonna wind up being billed with homicide indirectly. We're gonna make people laugh to death. Hey,
they should have known what they were getting into.
That's something to aspire to.
That's what she said.
You're gonna get me before the night's out. Oh.
Yeah, it's too bad Donna wasn't available to hear that. She'd have been.
Wait, at least wait to the will probates, will you?
I came up with a
1 minute warning
for my erotic stories. It's Chris Farwell. Chris Farwell Kane, KFC. Works because it's finger looking good.
I am so not touching that line, Paul. I mean, seriously, I've been to college. No.
So does that mean a pot pie made with KFC and Campbell's is finger licking good?
I don't think that was the exact intent. No. I do believe it was probably referring to cheerleaders.
You could use Pillsbury pie crust to put the continents in.
And Faces had to sit up straight on that one. Adjusting the stance. And on that note, oh, my friends, we have not only
Cue up the driving and crying song.
we have not only crossed the threshold for our time, but we have
Going straight to
as if there were any doubt.
Great ale.
Going straight to ale. Yes.
yeah. If you haven't listened to driving and crying, you're missing.
Oh. And basically, to our audience.
Where's Tori? I mean,
They knew what they were in for.
My statement to you is, don't hand me no lies and keep your hands to yourself.
Transmission overload.
System will shut down. System will shut down. System will shut down.